next up, Jeff Hubbard.
Cheers, Manny. No worries. And everyone stay tuned for the action for these next couple of days that are coming because the forecast is looking mental and it's going to get scary.
Yes.
Shoots. See ya.
All right, thanks, Hardballs, for tuning in. For sitting in here for round number 2, the first 2 heats. Woo! Look at this, out the back in the red jersey, Johan Florentine. No, I'm sorry. That is up and riding in red. Yeah, Jonathan Vega. Oh, we lose him in the foam ball. Looked like we had a split peak in there as well. Hubby Guys is getting situated.
Yeah, trying to get the mic. Not the easiest mic we got. Slipping all over. But I think I'm on. I think I'm in. Working. And yeah, it's been pretty
cool. Let's fix this. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Heat number 3, round number 2, out in the water. And Manny V here with Jeff Hubbard. We're going to get situated right here.
There's Sasha Specker trying to come in on your screen from the last heat. Sasha dominated that heat in just fine form. He is just killing it softly, as we like to say. He is just a legend. So that was cool to see him make it. And next we got, right now, Jonathan Vega. And
it's that little thing right there.
Yeah.
It's a little weight.
yeah, Nelson Mora, Brahim Douche, and Johan Florentine in this heat. Ripping it up, heavy heat. All these heats are hard. Gosh, what do we say, Manny?
We see 2 trialists, Brahim and Johan, making it here into round number 2, facing off with the 2 strong Canary Island riders. And looks like Brahim got another wave after that, or yeah, we'll bring you up to speed right now. Everything's pretty hectic. Yes, Brahim Idosh on this one.
Watch this invert, Manny. He just goes straight on the ball and just flies, just kicks, and drops about 25 feet down. It was a gigantic invert, and we'll see what it gets scored. It was on a left-hander, and sometimes the lefts don't score, which was split peak scenario, deep barrel.
Another big pit right there from Morocco's very own Brahim Idosh.
Yep, the prince has to be proud of his boy Brahim.
Oh,
Brahim's doing the country of Morocco proud, as always. We love to see Brahim surf, and really proud of this guy ripping and charging all the time. And what an awesome dude.
You know what? He's very cool, calm, collected, and a very huge difference of the Brahim we seen last year to the Brahim we seen this year. He's actually looking a lot more confident in the bigger stuff, so it's good to see that.
Yeah, really confident. I mean, he's proven himself in Pipeline. I remember seeing him take some 20-foot drops, just dropping in, just getting, getting obliterated and making some. I mean, it was great, and he's just a pleasure to be around. Really, really positive human, and we really like him on tour, and we're really proud that he's going to be representing Morocco on the Grand Slam Series next year for 2013, and it's going to be an exciting year with good old Brahim.
Yes, he's actually the first Moroccan wave rider, surfing or bodyboarding, to be on a world tour, and shout out to Brahim. But look at this, Johan Florentine in the white jersey, just clocking in some barrel time as well.
Yeah.
He's another new face on the tour for 2013. Johan Florentine comes to us from Reunion Island.
He's great. He's really specialized. Look at that deep hit by Brahim. Spit out, just shakes his head. Yep, check me out. Sick. He's just happy. I mean, so there's going to be some scores coming in. Brahim, 6.13 for his invert to start off with. Now, it's a great wave to start off a heat with. Good score for that left-hander. His other waves still to be scored. Vega and Nelson haven't got a wave, big scores yet to drop for them. But we got Johan Florentine at the moment is in first place, but we're still waiting on one of his waves. And Brahim is in second place, but that should change after this next these scores come online. But look at this set, Manny.
Oh my! Any takers? So the swell is arriving. The tide is dropping. What is that going to do to the conditions out there?
Bigger waves, less water on the reef means some treacherous conditions here at El Fronton. I mean, it's already heavy enough at high tide. You put in the low tide. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, Nelson Mora.
Roll. He's not done, Manny. Look at what he does.
Oh.
Local knowledge, brah. As we like to say. Big time move by Nelson Mora. He just loves that big stuff. That was a solid wave. Took off straight to the lip. Big roll. Got most of the points right there, but he continued on. Got a little cover up and another roll. And wow, what's happening, man? He looks like a double peak scenario again.
Little paddle scramble right here, trying to find that position, and everybody was not in position. And the wave didn't look that promising either. But oh my, the right looked perfect right there.
Man, it is just gnarly. Look at it, but you see it looks spits, and then all of a sudden it runs really fast again on as it bends west. And oh, look at this, up and riding, Guillermo Cobo?
No, Jonathan Vega.
Vega. Oh man, he is just another crazy wild card.
Oh, can he come out of the second barrel on the inside? No, it pinches on him, and he gets caught behind the section. Jonathan Vega, another talented local rider, coming at you in the red jersey in this heat. And I think we saw a split peak on that little on the left.
Yeah.
It could have been Johan Florentine.
I think you're right. Johan Florentine went left and got a score. But in the lead at the moment, Brahim with 2 6-point rides, looking pretty strong for that barrel and that invert. But look at, here's what we missed. Johan Florentine, big air forward.
Oh,
wow.
Look how high he is.
That was huge. Oh, he just came unglued on the landing. He bounced hard. He just kind of didn't ride flow through it. It hit and just impact just absorbed him. He was flying.
You are one of the, well, Dallas Singer, he's unfortunately will not be on the top 24 seeds, although he's all smiles. He
was ripping, man.
He was ripping, though. That giant backflip at the very end.
There's Nelson's wave, big roll, and sets up for another roll right here. Sits in the pocket, barrel, big roll again. That was a nice wave for Nelson to get his started on this campaign.
What I'm noticing from the local riders and the veterans that have been here many a times is that they just look so cool and collected on each of their waves. I mean, there's no stressing on what's going to come up next, because I think they know what's coming up next and they prepare for it.
Yeah, hey.
If they can.
We like to think so. Are we really? Hey, as long as it looks good, right on. But yeah, it's hectic out there, so we're trying our best to pretend we know what's going on. But man, it's fun. It's a fun wave, though. You take off on the right wave, and you just know you're going to get deep barrel or a huge ramp. You're just psyched. I mean, look at the playground we got out there.
Okay, so you're an aerial acrobat when it comes to big moves on the bodyboard. Is this one of your favorite waves?
Yeah, this is like one of the best bodyboard waves in the world, bar none. Easily. And great for airs. I mean, gosh, it's probably better for huge, gigantic pits, but you can get some massive ramps out here, and it's pretty intense. The other day, it was like 1 foot, 2 foot. I hit a big air reverse on a wave and just landed and just got smashed and bashed the reef pretty hard. I mean, it's not forgiving. When it's 1 foot or 10, it can crush you.
I've seen some of the old footage from Guillermo Tamega, who was one of the first foreign bodyboarders to come down here and attack Fronton full on. Where has it been? Where has it gone from those times, which I believe in the mid to late 90s, to where it is now?
Well, I mean, just the level of riding. I think everyone's at this high level. Back then, it was just a few guys. The locals are starting off, and now the locals are just dominating the scene here every day. I mean, it's a daily occurrence that these guys go out and just rip the S out of these waves. So it's really cool, man. And so when we come over, we're already like, wow, these locals are ripping. We better rip too. So we have to step up our game, if we want to compete at the same level they are. And yeah, it's cool ending the tour here because it's such a, how good this wave can be. So you really beef it up and try and get excited for it.
Very climactic end to a 2012 IBA Grand Slam World Tour, ending right here at Fronton, one of the best bodyboarding waves in the world, as I quote a lot of the riders. A lot of situations coming down to the wire, including a world title race between yourself and Dave Winchester. Guys, new faces coming into the World Tour's seeded list for next year, and some of them getting knocked out. So very climactic event here at the NMD versus Fronton Pro. And if you're tuning in, we can't thank you enough for watching from all over the world. If you are tuning in, you got a couple minutes, get on your phone, get on the computer, type away, tell your buddies who are sleeping at their girlfriend's house and they're not watching, tell them to tune in. We got round number 2, the elimination round. This could be your last time where you see some of your riders competing in this event. So tune in. Here we are, round number 2, round number 2, heat number 3. Oh my!
Doctor, as we like to say. So we turned away, and Brahim just did a gigantic air reverse. Man, Brahim is on fire today. And look, T-Peck, Johan Florentine from Union Island driving. What's he going to do?
Didn't really use
rolls
the
up.
projection off the lip, but still was able to pull off that roll. Look at this on the inside.
Nice
Oh.
bottom turn, man. It's going off other Manny. It's pretty intense. The wind's like a light onshore, so I mean, when you look at these waves, it's not like a user-friendly takeoff because you see it crumbling down the line. So you're just really hoping it opens up. And so look at Johan here, just gets spit out of this huge barrel and like, okay, what he's going to do? Just rolls it. Not the cleanest of moves, but hey, you got to move after, so that's great already. So he's already, might better his scores, which was a 3 something, so that might help him move into second position, which is currently held by Nelson Mora.
Well, we do want to point out that these side angles that we're showing you on the monitor are not what the judges are seeing, and from the front angle, you can tell how much longer they are in the barrel or how high they get on the big moves, just like Brahim on this big reverse air from Brahim. If he would have pulled that off, big scores.
Yeah, that was going to be a big score from a left-hander, maybe one of the better ones we've seen because he flew out in front of the wave. He telegraphed it. The reverse pushed him into the flats, and he landed really almost. Looked like he was going to ride out of it, but I mean, it's so powerful, and there's this other side wave that came through and probably knocked him off his board. Look at this set. What's going to happen here?
Oh,
There's some
my.
lines coming.
Is anybody in position?
Oh,
that is the
jeez.
question. Look at that.
No takers, Manny.
Oh, meat grinder coming into the inside, and then it reforms into this monster.
Yeah, just cut out.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you already got the job done if you made that barrel. That was intense. So I mean, these are some great waves coming in. We want to see these locals, Nelson Mora and Jonathan Vega. These guys are specialists out here, and they just charge so hard. And I'm really excited to see these guys grab a wave and just go for it. Up and riding.
Nelson Mora in the yellow jersey, big backdoor section. Can he come out of that, or did the whitewash? No, he made it past that section. Comes out. He is stoked. That thing just heaved on the shallow shelf right here at Fronton. That thing was a gutter.
That was awesome, man. He definitely was. He had been pushed down to third. He had to get a better than a 3.3, and that's going to be maybe his best wave of the heat. That was a great wave. And look up and riding, Johan Florentine, nice scoop in. Oh my gosh, it just went dry, man. He hit the step, man. There's a gnarly step out there, and if you're behind it or above it, it's hectic. You want to be underneath it and get through it.
That was ugly. He looks okay, though. I mean, a lot of riders have been coming out of the water hurt, mostly the knees. We've seen Jack Johns taking a knee straight to the reef, and unfortunately, he's out of the water for the next 2 weeks. And Sam Bennett was another one. Look at this, up and riding.
Jonathan Vega, man, big invert.
Oh, my.
That was good to see. He needed to get a score, and he's finally got his first real scoring wave on the board, and now he's back in this heat. Brahim's still in first place with those 2 6-point rides. Nelson Mora is going to come through with a decent score here. We're going to wait to see what it is. And Johan Florentine got a 6-point. Oh, wow, that was cute.
That was kind of cute from Brahimi, though. On the left, split peak. That's what he did. Did not pull it off. Heads back out.
Yeah, so Johan Florentine got a 6.0 on that big right we saw, Manny, where he did a barrel to and rolled out of it. So that was his best wave. And so Nelson's going to need to get a 5.22 if he wants to jump into second. And he jumps all the way to first with that big left-hander. So he goes, it's a 6.8 and goes all the way to first place with that huge left. And Jonathan Vega got a 5.88 for this big invert. Which was great, man. That was a perfect landing. Invert, yeah. I think it just wasn't a set wave, so they couldn't give it more of a score, but it was technically perfect for the size of wave he did and got a good score. But like I said, he's back in the heat, Manny. He only needs some 6-pointers to get up into first and second, so it's really cool.
They've been all tight heats from the start of the competition today, but we're going to come back to the live action. Actually, we may even do a picture-in-picture. We do have the winner of the last heat with Alex Leone. Alex, where you at, brother?
Yeah, thanks, Manny. Down here with that last heat winner, Sasha Specker. Look at the little grommet, eh? He's frothing.
Yeah, super stoked. The waves are just pumping out there. Just turned on about 10 minutes before that first heat, before mine, and I was just pumped when I got back up here, got my vest. I just wanted to get out there. I was frothing.
Yeah, he managed to get that first nice one, inverting, landed back in the barrel on that right-hander and rode out that pit.
It was sick. I knew it was on from the get-go. As soon as that buzzer went, it was just wedges going across the reef. So I was just pumped. I was excited.
Looks pretty shallow too out there. You can see the reef through the face of the wave.
Yeah, I had a bit of on my second wave. I actually ended up running up the rock, so it's super shallow, kind of dangerous. But the waves are good, and the guys are giving it horns. You know, everyone in my last heat had 7s at least, 1 or 2 8s. So performance is incredible.
Yeah, and we saw you lost your board. Right, talk us through what happened there where you lost your board.
I was actually okay. I didn't lose my board. It was the next heat, and I was stuck out there, so I ended up being a board caddy, and it was just timing. Lucky for Jonathan Vega, who's out there on an excellent board right now.
And now you've qualified for next year for the Grand Slam. Pretty stoked about that. You're going well in this event. You must be pretty happy.
Yes, things have been going good for me. Just been a good couple of weeks, and I don't know, I just put my head down and gave it everything I had these last couple of months, and it's paid off.
Yeah, well, you're surfing well, extremely well, and good luck for the rest of the event. You're in round 3 now, and I want to say a shout out to anyone.
Yes, thanks to all the guys at home and my family and everyone who supported me along the way. And Jared Gibson for making me an epic board. Thank you.
There you have it. All right, back to you, Manny. Thanks for that.
Welcome back. Yes, so that was Johan Florentine with a big backflip right there on the exit, but unfortunately did not pull it off. So congratulations to Sasha Specker, who's been on fire.
Yeah, he's just on, man. And here, look at Johan bottom turning, sizing up the section, and does a gigantic backflip. It looked really pretty in a photo, that's for sure. Just couldn't hold on. He just, the rave kind of just died out as he landed. And yeah, he's in 3rd place at the moment. He does need only a 6.3 to be second. And Jonathan Vega is in 4th place, needing a 6.5 to be second. And in the lead, Nelson Moore, and 2nd place, Brahim Madouche. These guys are holding on, and look at these waves. That's the scary thing, man. Look, any of these waves are good. And what's Johan going to do here? A nice invert.
Oh, nice.
And he's got to get out of there. It's shallow. So, I mean, he needs a 6.3, and Jonathan Vega had a bigger invert and only got a 5.88, so I'm not just judging off that. I don't know if that's going to be enough, but, I mean, it was a great invert. But I remember Jonathan's wave looked a little bigger and a nicer invert, so I'm not sure if he's going to get the 6 for that, Manny.
Well, that's what it comes to. I mean, when we come down to the wire last 10 minutes, it's all about, wave selection. And, I mean, you have to get those big scoring waves. If you don't get them, that is pretty much the time's going to run out on you. So the priority system, how crucial is it?
Well, in a wave like this, you really want to be on the best waves because there's so many good waves. You see all the riders just ripping. You want to make sure you're on the best waves and doing the best moves. Look at Brahim again. Oh, big backflip. He's not done. Maybe.
He actually didn't even use the lip to project. He actually just used the speed off of the bottom turn to be able to pop off of the face and pull that off. Will not be a super high scoring wave, but it is a maneuver. And I don't know how he pulled that off, though.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. That he's able to do that. And look at that, just beast. I mean, it's intense out there. There's some, a lot of these guys are going left because it's a little more user friendly at the moment. It's not wrapping in on itself, Manny. And that's as the tide bottoms out and this new west swell grows, it's just kind of bending around the right. And see how it's just closing out there. You got to make sure you get out of there and get your score done. And look, up and riding, Jonathan Vega. He needs a big score, and he's a local out here, man. He can do anything. What's he going to do? Just big roll.
Oh,
that
my.
was heavy.
Just puts his head down and punches through the lip.
He sure did, man. He sure did. I don't know if he needed to do that, but up and here we go. Nelson Mora. He's famous for those things. Oh, my. He is famous for doing that. And if he lands, he looked like he landed it. If he rides out of it, it's going to be a big score and really going to solidify his 1st place position.
Oh, that is not what you want to happen in your heat, and that is lose your board, break your leash, and lose your board. As you can see in red, Jonathan Vega, I mean, he's a good buddy of his. He pointed in the direction. He wasn't going to go grab it because it's just in the danger zone. Here's another look.
Bing, he just goes huge. And he's a big guy. Nelson's a big guy. Oh, face plant. It holds on, and then I was hoping he'd ride out of it, but maybe he didn't, Manny. They may not score him on that. It was a great attempt. And, you losing your board here is not a cakewalk. I mean, you got
He's pissed.
It's pretty much almost game over in these scenarios. You got to have 2 boards. You got to have one on the beach. Got to some of the boys throw it out for you, or you can come grab it. It's treacherous. And
you can't come in there. He essentially, unless he's got some very big cojones, he can come in on the right-hand side. But that
look
is
where he's standing. So, I mean, it's just getting shallower and shallower, and he's trying to find his board first. It's either you got to find it and then wait. Oh, you actually got to go get it. So, I mean, coming in there is pretty hectic. It's not no board. Body surf up on the dry rock. I mean, you can do it if you're.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be worth it though. But so the only option would be get out to the outside, come around back to the takeoff zone, which was on the left-hand side of the wave, and try all over again. But here he is trying to make a decision. Do I come in and grab my board, or do I paddle out and just go around the whole peak and come in from the other side?
Yeah, he'd have to motor pretty hard, Manny, if he wants to go around. And so, lucky thing he's in first, so he's got a little cushion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
so that helps him at this moment. But it doesn't give him much sense of urgency, maybe either. So that could not be the best thing.
He's trying to spot the board, which may be onto the cliff right there, and and if it's on the cliff, there's no way it's gonna, I mean, it could get washed back out onto the water. But look, here's another look. We're gonna try to hold off and play this all the way through and see what happens. Lands the air, big impact, and he still tries to ride it through right here. He's holding on, and then somewhere in there he just lets go, and for whatever reason, the leash plug. It could be the leash itself, and right there loses his board, and he's upset right there. He's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, come on.
There he is, still waiting on the inside, trying to figure out what he should do. If he's trying to paddle in right here, you're just going to see the reef just surging. You can see it on the foreground, on the bottom of your monitor. It's pretty much just dry reef right there. But this guy, I'm sure he's done this before.
Yeah, you know what? He's grown up here, so I'm sure this has happened to him before. He knows what he's doing, but there's so much water moving, man. This is a rising swell, dropping tide. I don't think, it's a position he wouldn't want to normally be in under any circumstances, let alone in a heat with a time counting down. The good news is he's in first. Brahim's in second, Johan's in third, and Vega's in fourth. So he's got a little cushion. Those guys need some pretty big scores to jump ahead of him and push him down to third. So, we'll see what happens for Nelson. He's just it's going to be really impressive to see him out here. See Nelson. They all need sixes, so they all need a 6.26, 6.3, and a 6.5, which are not easy scores to get. It's not like you can just go take off and bang a move on a medium-sized wave. You have to catch a set wave, get pitted, or do a big move off a set if you're going to get that medium to high 6. It's not a gimme. It's not a gimme score under any circumstances. Taking off on a wave here,
especially when you have the 4-man priority system in place. If you see a perfect wave come in and you're in the perfect spot, but the person with priority is behind you and calls you off, you have to pull back, and there goes an opportunity. But a lot of variables are at stake to get those 6-point whatever rides, and definitely a tough job for Johan and Jonathan Vega, but not impossible.
Oh, definitely not impossible. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left. The waves are pumping. If this good wave quality set comes in and these guys are in the right position, they can definitely get that score if they time it right. They do have a little bit of onshore breeze at the moment. It looks like it's picked up a notch just from looking outside our window, Manny. I see the wind is not as favorable as it was during the first two heats. It's getting a little hectic out there, but here up and riding, Johan and Brahim. Johan straight off the bottom. That was nice. Now that was something he needed, a 6.3 to go to second.
That could be
could be a 6.3. It was a little more critical than an invert. A nice, surprising move, and it could be what he needs to take out Brahim, which could be unfortunate. But Brahim went left, so we don't know what Brahim did. Brahim could have done something massive, and here we go. I'm sure the boys are lining it up for us. Thank you. And here we go. Look at Brahim setting up a huge section. What did he do? He did a gigantic backflip as well. Now, whose is better? If he lands this, you're going to say they're both the same almost. See, gosh, Brahim's was wicked, and so was there's. We have to give him almost the same points.
Yeah,
don't you?
It's going to be very interesting. I would probably say the same. I mean, both of them did almost exactly the same move, but maybe. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to leave it there and let the judges handle that one.
This will be interesting. I'm really excited to actually see what scores drop, considering they're both the same move on the same wave. Just one went right, one went left. It's going to be really cool. We'll see Johan's again. See, straight up. He did more of an ARS, and but he lands a little cleaner than Brahim. That was maybe that could be the factor. Less critical move, but more a cleaner landing, Manny.
And then I don't know if we can pull up Brahim's last wave while we wait for these sets to roll in. But Brahim, yes, he looked like he may have got a little bit more upward projection, but his landing was not as clean, obviously, as Johan.
It was still a land, and it was still going to be good points. It just might not be as clean if you're comparing, just taking the tiniest details on that. We'll see.
Johan is still, Johan, if he comes up with a 6.3 or better, that will take that second place spot. Again, this is round number 2, an elimination round. Top 2 riders will advance on, and 2 riders will call it an event. Look at this, up and riding. Johan Florentine on the left, comes around the section, big roll on the lip right there, and pulls it off and kicks out. So the left's quick, short, either it's going to be a big cave of a barrel or just a big one maneuver wave. Here we go. Jonathan Vega.
Wow. Little barrel. He's not done here.
Mistiming.
Mistiming, Vega. You're going to have to. Oh, he's still trying. Wow. He better
out
cut
of
out.
there.
I mean, there's 2.5 minutes left. He can still do this. He needs a big score. Brahim. So the score for Johan was a 6.35, and the score for Brahim was a 5.38, Manny. So it was a point difference. One went right, one went left. Cleaner landing on the right. The point difference points to Florentine. He jumps to second place. Brahim down to third. Vega still in fourth. Nelson sitting pretty in first place.
Oh, my.
And so, but, Brahim only needs a 6.26 to jump ahead of him. And Vega...
Here's another look at Johan's last wave. Just a big roll on the left. Nothing very special, spectacular, but it was something.
Yeah, he got a score there. He was in third priority since Nelson's not out there. But here's Vega's wave. Gets a little cover up, and he's looking for the section, and he just
right there.
It just died off for him, and he's bummed out because he knows he needs a mid-range score, and he's frustrated to be in this position again. It happened in his other heat. We're just needing a mid-6, and he just couldn't find the set waves to complete his moves on. And so, maybe, I'm not sure if the time's correct on here, but Brahim, again, he's in third place. He needs something big.
Can he come out of this? I
think he bounced on the bottom turn, Manny. That was heavy. So,
no. Now he's got to deal with this thing coming on crushing all over him.
Nelson
Big backdoor section. Can he come out of that? Of course, it's Nelson Mora. He is stoked. Big cavern of a barrel right there for Nelson Mora. He's just going to solidify that first place spot with that wave right there.
Yep, he got his board back, Manny, and he's got out the lineup and caught the bomb. Imagine that. Everyone was out there waiting for that wave that would have taken them the lead, but they weren't able to do it.
So it looks like Nelson Mora is just going to hold on to that first place spot. Now it's coming down to the last minute. Here's another look of Nelson Mora. Oh, look how deep that is.
That was impressive. Local knowledge.
Oh, my.
And he's happy with that. He's, that's not, he's in a contest, probably does that, a lot during the free surfs, but in a contest to get that wave, he's stoked. 3 other guys out in the water. Usually this place would be 500 riders deep in the moment. And he's pretty psyched. We got some sets coming. I don't know if they're going to come in time for these riders. 30 seconds. We will see, Manny. I see some lines coming. I wonder if our boys are going to catch this wave. No, 30 seconds left. These guys are duck diving this big set. 20 seconds.
Oh, my. Look at this. On the left, just a quick turn of the camera. And here we are with a big barrel from Johan Florentine, who's currently in second.
Yep.
It is Brahim Idosh and Jonathan Vega who are on the hunt for those waves. If not, they're going to be stuck in that third and fourth place position. And ladies and gentlemen, that might be the end of the road. Yes. Oh, my.